Right, so my chance. Welcome to another installment of the AAF podcast. I'm with Mpho, Alain, and Stokes Feder gents. Today is all about Man United. I know you guys have been super disgruntled, so yeah, 0-0 draw against Chelsea, but I know you guys must still be upset. I'll start with you, Alain. What are your thoughts on United's season so far? I know you've been very vocal and upset about it, so I'm giving you the platform right now. What do you think is going wrong at Old Trafford?
For me, I'd say there's numerous issues going on. First of all, nothing wrong with the manager. We need to be brutally honest that the manager, unfortunately, wasn't backed in the transfer window, which has led to dressing room issues, selection issues, training issues, everything all around. I, for one, feel that Rashford still is injured somehow and he's not performing to the level he should be performing. And then there's the whole Harry Maguire captaincy issue, that being one of them. Harry Maguire not also performing accordingly, so now people aren't sure what's happening with him. And then the big elephant in the room, which will always be Paul Pogba. So there's a lot of things happening at Old Trafford, especially the performances. I mean, you've got 1 point out of 9. Come on, at home, that's terrible. That is terrible. 7 points out of 15. Terrible performances.
What is that elephant about Pogba?
There'll always be an elephant around Paul Pogba being at B. Is he going to stay? Is he giving his best on the field? Is he serious about being at the club? Does he want the captaincy? And then it's also a matter of, okay, as much as he's the best player at Man United, does he perform like he's the best player on and off the pitch? Which I know Mpho has a lot of issues around him.
Yeah. I was actually about to come in there, right? So I'm going to be fair to Pogba. I'm going to be very fair to him. I think in the last 2 games, when he's been coming off the bench, he's been quite, he's had a good and a positive impact on the team. I don't know. I know in the beginning of the season, I had my suspicions that maybe the whole captaincy thing with Maguire, caused a bit of a dressing room issue for him specifically. Because maybe he felt he deserved to be captain because he had been there for longer. Also, given his history at the club, So I just felt like, he was being a bit poisonous. But like I say, in the last 2 games, man, he's put his best foot forward. I don't know why. I don't know what's changed. But also, nothing new. We know Pogba. From 50 games in a season, you're gonna get probably 12 good performances out of him. And for me, that is not good enough.
The inconsistency.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
I want to know. I just want to ask Alain, if you feel Rashford is injured, which injury is he carrying? When did he get injured?
Came back. That injury hasn't been 100%. Yes, he's performing, but he's not the same Rashford of beginning of last season prior to his injury, where he was practically.
But do you not think? But do you not think maybe it's fatigue? There wasn't enough turnaround end of the season. On top of that, he's also playing international because they call him up. Do you not think those are adding factors?
Yeah.
Also, as a professional, you need to acknowledge that, okay, look, I'm fatigued. I need a break.
Yeah.
You're a professional. This is your job. You're getting paid 150 per week to be able to manage these things accordingly.
Yeah, there was one.
I mean, ideally, that's what he should have been doing this entire time.
But there was one international fixture where he asked not to be selected. I'm not sure what the reasons were, but he skipped one, and then the next one they called him up.
I think I do agree with Alain Guti. He seems distracted. I don't know if it's an injury or not, right? I think the activist in him, his off the field antics and his efforts in this whole Black Lives Matters and trying to feed the whole nation there in the UK is somewhat distracted him. I think he's kind of lost sight of what is important, what is putting food on his table, what is making
it's going to be difficult to balance both.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to balance both. And if he's not careful, he's going to end up going down the same road as Lingard. Lingard.
You're right.
Sure.
Yeah, no. In terms of how easily he got distracted from his duty at the club, and he just started focusing on his brand and the J-Lings clothing label, and it's
so
left
what
him.
would you say is basically United's Bellerin more than anything. That being Jesse Lingard.
Jesse Lingard, yeah, I'd say definitely United's Bellerin. But Bellerin is playing, bro. Like, even despite all the stuff that's going on off field, right? I think this season, actually, since Arteta came in, he's actually been one of their most consistent performers.
I disagree with
guys,
both of you guys.
I disagree. So, guys, okay, we'll come to you just now, Stokes. But, like, just on the Rashford case, okay, Alain said he feels like Rashford is still injured. And the general consensus maybe is that he's tired. There's some fatigue setting in because of international football. But surely that onus should not be on Rashford. Is it not the coach's job to see that a player is struggling from fatigue?
Yeah, to manage.
And I assume we have fitness people who would give a red alert.
I think never. I think also like it's become a bit more difficult to drop him now, especially the last two games with red card Martial. Who else do we have there? Because Cavani has said openly, the coach, he doesn't feel he's ready yet to come in.
He hasn't played a lot of football.
He hasn't played a lot of football since what is it? March, February. He's actually
last
not
year,
been playing any football.
No, last year September, the last time he played for PSG.
Listen to that. It's been over a year basically without any football. So if it does sit, and also remember, what's the boy? Greenwood was also injured. Remember, he only just came back this weekend. He was carrying a knock, so he couldn't play. I think it was in the Champions League where he couldn't play. So if the coach or the manager were to decide, I'm gonna rest him, but who is it in favor of? Who can come in and actually score the goals and deliver that? That.
But then
one match has
been fine. You've got Igalo. Igalo's there. He hasn't played. Why do we still have Igalo if he's not gonna play?
But yeah, and also I mean,
I feel like one match has
yeah.
Okay.
That's one
Alain
guy.
is quiet and okay.
He's quiet on one. I'm speaking on Juan Mata. The games that he started, I believe it's two. Newcastle and
this past weekend.
Chelsea. This past weekend, Chelsea. Been in fine form, been consistent with Juan Mata, irrespective of the draw against Chelsea. There's a guy who's put his hand up that fine, if Martial has got a red card and Rashford is going up front, he's more than happy to start on the wing. Put his hand up.
No, he has. But like you say, he has to have, because he's more a final pass guy. He's a final ball guy. You can chip in at the
not a carrier,
but dude, Rashford has become that important for us. Let's be real. He's a genuine goal threat. When he's running to goal, you do feel like something might happen there. I don't know who else can do that other than Martial and probably a fit Cavani. I don't know who else would be there to do that.
I think Rashford just needs to decide if he's going to push the whole activism thing or footballing I think he needs to decide. Otherwise get somebody to manage what you're trying to do on the side. Like obviously, what is it? Feeding the kids. Get somebody to handle that for him while he puts his focus on football.
So also one thing we need to be 100% acknowledging of. Rashford was used as a pawn regarding the whole Sancho deal, and I wouldn't say he's down tools 100%, but that has had an effect on him because the entire time he was being utilized to talk to Sancho on the side, the tweets, the Instagram posts, all of these social media things going on in the background.
Wait, you mean they asked him to actually talk to Sancho about moving to United? Or was he
it was clear as day. They were using him as the new agent Pogba. Remember how Pogba was constantly linked with Lukaku and all those things?
Yeah.
Sancho,
a lot of players do that, man. It's almost like, it's almost like, Bolas, if somebody wants your services and they be like, Sifiso, Bolas, also we've been trying to call him, but also just say something. Footballers, others naturally they do that. I mean, Ander Herrera is the one that convinced the Cavani to join.
Cavani to come to United, yeah.
You get what I mean? It's. I don't think it was something, a message that was said, hey, when you guys meet at the international camp, go speak to this guy. It's just something that just comes naturally. Our club, if our club is interested in you, look, Lagumnand, come through.
So then just on
he was hurt on that aspect because they are friends off the pitch. So now he was promised, okay, no, Sancho's coming. the whole transfer saga, he's being promised that, and then last day, nothing happened. So that's also
that is affecting him.
Yeah, it's playing in the back of his head somehow, because
That
you as a player, you're assuming that you're going to get better players in the season. Because let's be honest, some of the players that we have at United, I mean, Jesse Lingard was mentioned. He's not a United type of player. He should leave. I mean, he's a squad player.
But what do you mean he's not a United type of player? In what sense?
As in, he's not good enough to play for United anymore. He's a good squad player. Yes, I'll give him that. That I'll give him. However, right now, his performances over the past 18 months, they speak for themselves. His first goal was on the last day of the season.
Yeah, but like I said, wouldn't you say that's got to do with the distraction we spoke about earlier? Because let's not forget, the boy came to the academy and he does have the character to be at United, in my opinion. It's just that he's been distracted lately, and it's shown. It's not showing on the field.
You guys are forgetting one thing: Mino Raiola. That's why I disagreed with you guys in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
He signed with Mino Raiola. That guy will distract anyone who wants the spotlight, and one of his players who are after the spotlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you say that? So would you say Gutu Ole, for instance, is also now actively dropping it because he signed with Mino? Is that
if you think about it, is it a coincidence that we walked away from signing Erling Haaland when Dortmund kept him for 18 million? Is it a coincidence? Who is Erling Haaland's agent?
Yeah,
Mino.
Yeah.
But don't forget, you despise Mino. Really, you want nothing to do with Mino.
We're spending too much time on factors which are off the pitch. Yes, they do affect the team, but let's come back onto the pitch. You've got players, they're there to stay. Those who didn't come, didn't come. You've got people who are currently there. I mean, I'll give you an example, and I want to ask you guys. Donny van de Beek is there. Guys were crying that I know Alain was a strong advocate of the boy. He's not playing now. What's going on? Are you guys happy with the midfield we currently have starting? Yeah, Stokes?
Can I say something? I feel like Solskjaer is protecting him also. You know, sometimes when a player comes in, there's a hype, there's media and so on of, if let's say it only takes 2 or 3 bad games. For social media and so on to bash him and say he's a flop signing. Little do they know, Guti, you are playing in the Dutch league, which the pace is a lot slower than when you come to the Premier League. I feel like Solskjaer is trying to protect him. Because on paper, yes, you could arguably say the only real signing we got, because in terms of price tag, I mean, Cavani was free. You know what I mean? I feel like Solskjaer is protecting Donny van de Beek. Not necessarily that he doesn't deserve to play. It's more of a protection thing. But he's young, this guy. He's young. Yeah. And the last thing you want is to have another Januzaj kind of thing, where young, Moyes failed to protect him. Where is he now? Sociedad.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Stokes. I get what you're saying there. Because the boy is productive, man. He has to be given some minutes. And I think maybe his time will come, like you say. It's a protection thing there. I don't think we've found the right balance in midfield, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think Solskjaer knows who our best, central midfield pairing is. Maybe it's based on the type of game he wants to play on the evening or the afternoon. But I don't think, up against the best opponents, I don't think he knows who to pair with whom. Because even the guys, the French guys, your French players like your Fred was outstanding for us last season. And I was a big critic of his, actually, because he lost the ball too many times. But he stepped up.
We all were critics.
He stepped up last season. And now when someone puts his hand up like that, I mean, you just drop them because there's a new signing.
But you see what I like about Fred, he's not afraid to lose the ball.
One of the performances of the season against PSG, he did well. But now back to Donny's issue. I think Donny's issue is it's also a matter of the media in England and Europe right now basically saying that Solskjaer didn't want Donny. So he's throwing his toys in the cart and he's benching him for that because he wanted Grealish. So it's a matter of, a lot of media is actually saying in England that no, Solskjaer doesn't want him. He wanted Grealish, so he's sending a message to the board, but then that's also affecting the players. Yes, I get what Sifiso's saying, correct.
Yeah.
But there's also elements of he hasn't played enough. We can't be having our record signing of the season, but have a total of 60 minutes. And we haven't played We've played a lot of games. You're only getting 60 minutes max. You don't even feature against Chelsea. Come on, there's something behind the scenes. You know, and I'm not sure if people saw what Patrice Evra said yesterday. They're like, it's clear that they didn't want him more than anything. He's benched, but he doesn't play the easy games. He should have played against Newcastle. I don't know how the rest of the people feel. I think he should have started against Newcastle. You know what I mean?
So you think genuinely Solskjaer doesn't want Van de Beek? Like genuinely.
I don't think so.
Let's
look at the history of Solskjaer at United. When Solskjaer doesn't want to play, he doesn't play. Let's look at Romelu Lukaku. Remember Romelu Lukaku? When Solskjaer didn't want him, he didn't play. Jesse Lingard.
But it worked out for him in the end, didn't it?
It did, but I'm saying he has a history of saying, if I don't want to play you, you're not going to play. It's not the first time.
But let's be honest, Romelu deserved the bench, not because he didn't like him. He did drop before. He didn't play like he's wearing
You and
I mean, come on.
You said this on countless occasions. Sanchez should have come back to United. I was the one that didn't want Sanchez back at United. Yeah. Both of you said that you wanted Sanchez back as cover. Ole didn't want to.
But it was Sanchez. It was Sanchez's choice not to come back. Nami, I'd rather Sharp. I'll sell you if you don't want to come back. Not doing
stick to what is currently there. Don't include guys who've already left. Romelu and Sanchez are not there. So okay, let me ask quickly. Stokes, what is your ideal three? Quickly, what is your ideal midfield three? Midfield three.
Honestly, excluding our rotation, if everybody fully fit, I'd have Matic. Matic, Pogba, Bruno at 10. That's just me.
Alain?
Hey, ideally after Fred's performance against PSG, I have to start him. Like, he's proven himself. Fred has to start at 6, and then you have to play Pogba and Bruno.
Okay, Paul?
Yeah, for me, Scotty is coming in ahead of Matic and Fred at 6, and then with Bruno and... So, in an ideal world, Pogba. But in our reality, I'd rather start Donny. I'd start Donny ahead of Pogba. Yeah. So it would be Scotty, Donny, and Bruno. I think you'd get more productivity out of those guys.
Okay. So do you all agree that then Donny deserves slightly more minutes, irrespective of what the reason is that he's not playing?
Absolutely.
Right. He should.
It does deserve more. Yeah, it does deserve more money.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you guys happy with your midfield personnel?
Yeah.
Irrespective of how it's going now, are you happy with what you have?
Yes,
I'm happy. I'm happy.
You have no choice but to be happy. Yeah.
What do you mean you have no choice? It's good rotation, fam.
Yeah, even though it wasn't really an area that needed to be addressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy, right? Even though it's not an area that was like that needed to be addressed like we did.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe if we had addressed centre back, it would have been better because we still have to get into the Maguire issue, right?
Stay right there. Stay right there. What are your thoughts on Maguire? We're moving on to the back now. What are your thoughts on Maguire? We'll close this off with Maguire. What are your thoughts?
Here are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Maguire, despite his shortcomings, is still the best centre back we have at the club.
Yeah, I agree.
He has to start.
And why I'm agreeing?
And I saw how Stokes.
Let him finish.
I saw a status Saga Alain the other night after we played PSG. Where he spoke about Axel Tuanzebe as being better than Maguire. And I wanted to comment to say, hey, we must be careful, eh? One game, we must be very careful.
Come on.
We must be very
let
careful.
him finish.
Yeah, so what I would say is, Maguire is still our best centre back. He's still our best centre back, and we just need to find an ideal partner for him. I think with the guys he's playing with there right now, Lindelof, they're not the best pairing for him. They're not the best pairing for him.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Over to you, Stokes.
We're forgetting Maguire is going through a court case, Chris, where he could serve a suspended sentence, but still is in trouble with the law. that will affect anyone. Anyone, if you know that the cops are on your back, people are forgetting that. 2, Maguire does not have a partner. We do need a left-footed centre back, because when he plays on the left-hand side, notice how he carries the ball. He pushes it with his right foot. It is uncomfortable. It's like playing a left back with 2. Very, very, very uncomfortable.
Even when he's clearing, you know those crosses from the left. He has to use his right foot, and
you know what I mean. It's a tough task. It's a tough task. Nice. So, guys, Axel was phenomenal against PSG, but it's one game. It's all I have to say.
One game, eh? Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
Drum roll. And now, Alain.
Gents, come on.
Over to
no
you.
way, man. No way. And verbatim, Pause. The status was Axel is greater than Fridgehead, because you know I call him Fridgehead.
Yeah.
And then the next one was there's a fridge that costs 80 million, and no, it's not Smeg.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
now
between
back
the lines.
So,
I read between the lines.
Is that okay? You mentioning he's going through a court case, and I'm sympathetic of all these things. We're all human, right? We all have human errors. We all have human emotions. I bring up Sevilla. Remember that game? Does everyone remember that game?
Yeah.
Whose
Where the
errors
whole team
were
was bad.
The first
Where the whole team was bad.
The goal we conceded was Lindelof. Bruno even shouted at Lindelof.
The first one. Go back. The first one, right? Right back's issue didn't deal with that goal. The right back, first point. Ball still coming to Maguire. Maguire does the no-look pass, but looks away from the ball. There's images proving that he's going away from the ball. The ball's still coming to him directly. He moves away from the ball. I.e., Brendan had to deal with that with Lindelof. However, if Maguire stood his ground, that ball was not going in. He ran away from the ball. Is this still Greece? Was he foreshadowing Greece? Or, I mean,
No, but like the whole team played badly against Sevilla.
No, agreed. And
that's just Maguire.
Correct. However, my thing is, and let's take away the price tag that we've mentioned. You're supposed to be the leader of the team. As a leader of the team, you're supposed to be inspiring the youth. You're supposed to be making sure everyone around you is doing their job. Can we all agree on that? As a leader, not as a defender, as a leader.
Yeah.
Number one, his shortcoming has been ever since we gave him that armband. His performances have dropped. As much as I despise him, his performances have dropped since they gave him the armband. Can we all agree on that? Yes, no? Yeah, sure, fair. Second point is that now we're bringing it to this season. He was terrible against Spurs. Terrible against Spurs. But he didn't get dropped the next game. Whereas Pogba, as equally terrible, got dropped.
Did he not score? Did he not score when he wasn't dropped, right? Granted. But did he not actually score a goal to equalize for us against Newcastle?
He did.
So then what more must he do?
No, but how
he justified his selection.
I'm linking it to Sifiso's point earlier, is that by all means there's something going on with
Alain.
Off the field. Even in England, don't forget, prior to that game, the England performance, he got a red card in 31 minutes. 2 yellows.
He's going through a court case, bro.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Sifiso. There's clearly an issue with Maguire. There clearly is. That's mentally.
Off field,
so why in the interim are we not playing? Why are we not playing with the same system right now that we did against PSG, which worked because that meant people didn't have to worry. And as much as I gave it to Fred, man of the match that day, because Fred did all the work for Lindelof and Axel behind him to make sure people are comfortable. So right now, until his issues done off the pitch, we should do what Ferguson used to do. If you have issues off the pitch,
fair enough. I can give you that. Fair enough.
Pull
him out of the firing line.
You can go play. However, right now, 6-1, come on. How does he tackle his own player?
I'll give you that, Alain. I'll give you that one. But also, one could also say, maybe, the true mark of a leader or a true example of leadership is the ability to play beyond all your all the noise. So it's like it's a lose-lose. Whether you drop him or he keeps playing, and you kind of expecting him to play past the noise. It's just not gone well for him. And yeah, I agree with you. Maybe pull him out the firing line for a couple of games. Let him just go cool his head down. Because the court case thing, man, it threw him off. You can even see on his face. He's visually, he looks different. He looks very stressed.
And my thing is, I thought that it was going to be a different Maguire after the Brighton game, because that's the first time I saw him as a leader. When it was 2-2, final whistle, and he's like, no, that's a penalty. He went and actually fought. That's the first time I actually said, how Maguire can't do it. And I appreciated that. As much as I despise him, I appreciated that. That's what I want from a leader. If you're going to be leader of one of the greatest clubs in the world, you need to step up. And unfortunately, as we've mentioned, the Greece thing is playing on the back of his head, and he's not being a true leader right now.
I'd rather
Makes
have
sense. Okay, Stokes, I'm going to stick with you on rather having who and having who. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'll start with you. One, what is your starting lineup ideally? And two, where do you think you will finish by Jan? Not end of the season, in Jan, where do you think you'll be placed in the league? Give me your first 11. Don't explain, just give me names, lineup, and where do you think you'll be in Jan?
All right. De Gea in goals, Luke Shaw, Maguire. Still pensive on Eric Bailly or Lindelof, but given a PSG performance, Axel, right back, Wan-Bissaka. And then obviously midfield, I have Matic, Pogba, Bruno. On the left-hand side, I'd have Rashford. On the right-hand side, I'd probably have Martial up front, Cavani. That's me. A fit Cavani. That's me.
Okay.
And where do you think you'll finish, or where do you think you'll be by Jan?
Finishing.
That's when the window will open.
Okay. By Jan.
First Jan.
I think we'd probably be fifth. Me being realistic.
Okay. Alain?
So
same question.
De Gea, cool. Left back, Telles. Center pairing for now until his head is clear. I'm gonna have Axel and Lindelof, if not Bailly. And then right back, Wan-Bissaka. 6, I'm playing Fred. Box to box, Pogba. 10, Bruno. Left, Rashford. Right, Greenwood. Up top, Martial.
Where do you think you'll be come 1st Jan?
1st Jan will either be 5th or 6th.
5th or 6th. Okay, Mpho?
Okay, De Gea and goals. Tellers at left back. Luke Shaw playing with Maguire at centre back. Wan-Bissaka on the right. I have Scott in midfield with Donny and Bruno. On the left, I've got Rashford. In front, I've got Martial. On the right, I've got Greenwood. And then I think if on current form, Jan, all things being equal, I think I have to agree with Alain, 5th or 6th, because I think there's a couple of teams who are better than us in terms of consistency, and we'd have to really pull up our socks if we were to catch them.
Okay. Quite realistic, gents. We've run out of time, and I think you guys can definitely go on for 6 hours talking about Man United, the way they've just been stressing you. But from an outsider's point of view, I'm happy this is happening to you guys. But I have no doubt.
Are you joking?
No comment. But I have no doubts, gents. Wait, gents. Real talk though. Leave Bands FC alone. Real talk. I think you guys will bounce back. We've reached the end of the show. Thank you, gents, for participating and sharing your tears yet again. This is becoming a norm. To you, the viewer, please let us know what you think about Man United and where you think they'll finish by the end of this season on the comment section. Remember, it's the AAF_podcast. Follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe. We're also on Instagram. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. It was the AAF podcast, All Things United. Gents, Salute.
Thanks,
Salute.
gents.